moving on to part 2, pitching and closing the deal. And then steps after initial outreach and after meeting to do and customer experience. All right, so as we said, the initial outreach, we want to set up a discovery meeting. So that is a phone call with more information so you can meet with the nonprofit, explain RE-volv's model and how it can benefit with the solar. That could involve meeting with the board or your point of contact at the nonprofit. The goal of the discovery meeting is to review solar logistics, tell them about about RE-volv, how the model works, zero down, no upfront investment. RE-volv will pay a local installer to install a solar system, and then we'll either charge you for the electricity from the solar system at a reduced rate from your current electricity costs, or there'll be a monthly lease payment for the solar system. And at the end of the 20 years, we will transfer ownership back to the nonprofit. And during the term of the contract, all operations and maintenance is covered. And another great thing I really like to highlight when I'm speaking with nonprofits is a solar seed fund. So, we have 50-ish projects in 13 states. And each month, when they pay us their solar payments, we pool that money into a fund called a solar seed fund. And we'll use that money to help finance other nonprofits going solar. So by going solar with RE-volv, nonprofit can save money on their electricity costs, lock in their energy costs because they're going to have a solar system and hedging against the utility increasing their energy prices, and they're supporting clean energy and jobs, and they're also going to be helping another nonprofit go solar. And so those are some of the benefits of going solar with RE-volv. And you can also have a chance to speak to them about the great community engagement work that you'll do with them throughout the installation process, the storytelling, and the ribbon cutting ceremony. And, after these are the great overviews of RE-volv and the model and the benefits. And another key thing, which really will help with the next part of the process, is getting 12 months of utility bills. So we'll have some help on that about how to request that, but we want to get 12 months of their energy bills, and we want to see all pages because there's going to be information on different pages. And that will allow me to analyze their historical consumption, see how much energy they're using, and then work with a local installer to make the quote. And then I can make the solar proposal for the nonprofit. So after the meeting, to-dos and customer experience. So after the meeting, and this document right here, this talks about some of the questions and requirements that we have talked about during this module. So you can share with the installer, and you can see here there's a section on 12 months of energy bills. So typically they can download it from the utility's website. We do also work with a third-party company called Utility API. It's not in all utilities, but you can check the service areas on Utility API. And if the utility is listed, there's a link in this document that the nonprofit can authorize RE-volv to pull their historical usage. So that can be an easy option. And that could also give us 15-minute interval data, which is really great to have when you're designing a solar system. And the roof conditions, who owns the building, and if possible, photos of electrical panels. So this document will be available to you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. So we want to get 12 months of bills or the Utility API. And then you can send items to RE-volv. So again, this is just what I went over, but you can send this solar viability questions, and that will prompt the nonprofit to provide the required information in order to size the system. And then once the proposal is ready, we can have a call with the nonprofit. I will go over the proposals, and you can be there to see the proposal, and then also explain your involvement in the project further. So yeah, this is just a little bit of a workflow on how the ambassadors interact with RE-volv. So as you do your outreach to nonprofits, we will compile any leads you sent to us into our database. And then you'll have the discovery meeting and set up to qualify the lead. RE-volv is available to answer any technical questions that come up, or any outreach questions or general support. Working with the nonprofit to get the utility bills. Once I have that, I'll analyze it. I'll work with the local installer. RFP means request for proposal. If I don't have an existing installer, I'll find a new installer and get a couple quotes on the installation. And then once I have the quote, I'll be able to run the model and the numbers, and determine the best financial product available for the customer. And then I will lead proposal walkthrough. The ambassadors will be there, and you can present on your involvement in the project and the storytelling and the great ribbon cutting events. And then I will try to help coordinate the decision making with the nonprofit. Typically, we'll have the call walk through with your contact at the nonprofit, and then often they need to go to their board to get approval on it. And sometimes they'll have me invited to the board meetings. I can present to the full board and answer any questions. Or sometimes they meet and send me some questions. So I will manage that and, hopefully get the board approval so we can get the contract signed. So that's a little quick overview of kind of the discovery to contract signed phase. So once the nonprofit signs the PPA or the lease, you can start planning the ribbon cutting event. Typically, depending on the area, the installer, the permitting, the installation could take anywhere from like 3 to 6 months. But once the contracts are signed, we could work with the nonprofit and see if they have any requests for the ribbon cutting so that we're made aware of it well in advance. And you want to start making a community engagement plan. So you can draft a press release to notify the nonprofit going solar. Get some information about the nonprofit and their programs and services, which will be used on our website. And then if the nonprofit wants to get some content to share with the community, you can assist with that if possible, and how to best engage their community. And then you can also share updates on social media throughout the installation process. And Sydney and myself are happy to help you with that. And then, work with the installer to document the installation. So ideally, the day that they're putting in panels can be a good day to visit the installation and take some photos. So I can help coordinate that with the installer. And once we do the ribbon cutting and the installation, we'll create a video highlighting the nonprofit's solar system. So yeah, that's a little overview of how to outreach for nonprofits and a bit of the sales process. So hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and look forward to working with you. Thank you.